just shuffle guys in and out all the time.
Nope. That's what it is. I mean, that's guys got to play. I mean, that's the one thing is that's what I told them from day one, and where Dylan and Blaine are. I told them when they walked into camp was, you're a shoelace away from going in. And you know what? The two of them both they both stepped up and they both played. Anything they got to play better than they played. But I think as a group we got to play better than we played. But I think they've done a good job, and that's what we're right now going to with the injuries we have with Tobias and James, and Quentin's still a little banged up, but they're going to go in and play, and then we're going to put the best five in the field. And we get James back. I don't know where the lineup goes, and that tomorrow to me is part of what practice is going to be today, tomorrow. Is Damian Robinson one that's got to come in there? Does Blaine got to go to guard? Does Dylan got to go to guard? Does Quentin got to go back to center? I mean, that's something that's just to get figured out here. And who practices the best, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a competition. I think the positive to the thing is there is going to be competition between all of them and playing, and who's the five best. And now that like I told James this morning, I said, Blaine and Dylan have played, and you're not going to play against anybody better than you just played against last Thursday. So as long as they keep getting better, now it becomes greater competition for who's going to get on the field.
And when you're looking at how to shuffle that lineup, and you got you could put a redshirt freshman at center or at right guard. I mean, how tough is it to try to decide which young guy to play to start?
Well, Dylan's going to play. Dylan's going to play at center, and Blaine's going to play at guard. At tackle. I'm sorry. And I think the bigger thing comes is James gets healthy this week. Is who's the fifth? Who's the fifth, and who's I guess who's one out? Yeah. Is it Blaine? Is it Dylan? Is it Quentin? I don't know. Whoever the five best are, it's going to go out there and play. And I think that's just evaluating. That's grades. That's grading practice every day to see who are the five best and who's six. And if I can play six, I'd love to be able to play six. I'd love to be able to play them both and play them all.
Damian Robinson, how much in the mix is he at right guard?
He's one shoelace away from going to the game. So he's absolutely in the mix because he just has to be. He has to be. I think all those, anybody that's a two now, like I said earlier, is from the start of camp, all those twos that sat there, I said, you are one shoelace away from going in that game. Kid unbuckles a shoe, has to come on the field, you're going in that game. Unfortunately, it hasn't been just a shoe. It's been more than that, but, like anything, they got to get ready to play, and those guys now, I think the greatest thing we're telling them after the game Thursday was, hey, you're looking at two guys that had a run in that game, one in play four and one in to start the game. So all the stuff that I preached to you for the last 2 months, it's come true. So as you sit there, you can get scared. But you understand, you're that one shoe away from going that game right now.
It seems like the one guy that's always just set at right tackle. Could you even move him around? Or?
If I had to, I think the one thing going into in the last spring in the season was between James and Blaine at left tackle to sit there and say, okay, Ashton, you go to the right. Let James and Blaine learn left. Let them go compete for it. Sit there and say, okay, here, go learn left, go learn right. Addison, you go left. Let them learn to play. And I think that they're more comfortable right now where they're at. Now, again, if something has to happen where it's another guy that's got to go in or two more guys down the road, may have to move, absolutely. But right now, you kind of I got to keep some camaraderie with that side and with him being there instead of shuffling one more, shuffle who I have to shuffle.
Is Dylan Day at center just more along the lines of you feel better with Dylan at center and Quentin at guard than Quentin at center and Dylan at guard? Is that
Dylan really doesn't rep much at guard. Again, Dylan, some things you keep with the younger kids is multi-learning.
Right.
The one thing Quentin is here, over the years, like Quentin. Quentin's probably, he's the first, second center, the first, second guard, and probably the next tackle in the game. Why? Because he's played all those positions. He's played every one of them, so he knows them all. Mentally, he's on top of all that stuff, so he can actually go play any of them. So he's the one that's kind of the trump card to move anywhere. I need to move that. Where's that next best guy to go in any of those positions?
When Tobias gets hurt, and you have to, bring a guy in, and you're bringing Dylan in and moving Quentin instead of bringing Damian in, just because Dylan already had that experience the previous week?
Again, you're going to play your best five, and where they sit in order of who's going to go in the game right now, that's where it is. Okay. That's the two, and right now, Damian is the eighth guy, so he's moved up the ladder now. Now he's come himself to six. He's number six now. When you take two guys out of the equation, he becomes number six. Where he's, James comes back, he's probably at number seven, unless he's got better and better each week in practice to where he's starting to realize too is I am a play away from going.